Okay. I missed when my ads ended, but hello! How's it going? I was talking in the other room, getting water, generally not keeping track of time. How are you? You were playing Crusader Kings and almost missed the stream. Now you can do both. You can play you can play Crusader Kings and catch the stream. I hope you're having a good one. Yeah. All right. I'm gonna press play on the game and then I'm gonna switch over because I don't know. I think it's fun watching the opening sequence. I enjoy it. But I forgot that it takes a while to open. Yeah, it's really fun. It sets the mood, you know? It's like I come in and I'm like, all right, it's ready to go. It also helps me remember who everyone is. But yeah, it's Thursday. It's almost Friday. I've had the worst sleep all week. It's been awful. I'm hoping to get a good night's sleep tonight. We'll see. I feel good though. I took like 3 naps this morning. Yeah. The problem is we had to do laundry last night and someone had to stay awake. And I work at home. And my significant other drives into the office, so it was kind of a I was like, yes, I'll do this. But then as soon as I was ready to go to sleep, I was like the most nauseated I could ever be. So I was up for another like hour and a half. And then I was like, okay, I'm finally ready to sleep. And that's about how it went. And that's kind of been like my all week. Yeah, it takes a really long time. Cause you know, you gotta put it in the dryer and we do like time dries. Cause we need like 2 dries. So it's like I had to stay up for like another hour and it's a lot. It's a lot. For those that are here, hello, that aren't familiar with the game and how we've been doing over the past 4 sessions. Let me give you a rundown of the game. So we are Clyde. I'm also doing this because, you know, it's gonna go up as a VOD and just in case for some reason someone clicks them out of order. Don't know why they would, but just in case. Okay, so we are Clyde. We are a dishwasher at a pizzeria and a college dropout. We have a mom that is sick and we were like, hey, there's this really sketchy site that's saying, hey, enter this giveaway, and if you win, we'll do anything for you, more or less. So you know, I'm like, oh, maybe they can cure my mother. So I enter this giveaway. I win. They tell me, bring a partner. So I bring Devin. Devin works with me. She is a line cook. She is wonderful. She's very sarcastic, but also positive. And she is my best friend. So we get put into trucks like Squid Game style and we're driven way into the woods. And we're like, doesn't seem like a medical facility is out here, but okay. So we meet these 2, Lilith and Laura. They are sisters. They also don't know what's going on. I don't know how they got here still. Later on, we meet Richard, who is an artist. Everyone calls him creepy, but he's just emo. I don't know. I'm a Richard apologist, I guess. Everyone's like, ooh, he's so unsettling. He's so creepy. I'm like, the man's just quiet. Let him do him. Anyway, so this is him, and he came with his father to this place. They seem to know a little bit more about what's going on. He just needs to cook on his art. Exactly. He just needs to let him cook. It's fine. We meet Teresa, who is the first time I met her, I was like, she works at a casino, obviously. She must work somewhere at a casino. But we meet her and Everett. He is an accountant. He's very nice. He's very big. I appreciate the character design here. And then we meet Maria, who is a personal trainer. She's great. Love her. She came with Alphonse, a man of very few words. Very intimidating, very stoic. Literally described as big man by Devin. That is true. Everett is literally described as big man by Devin, and we love this. There is Zeph, who we met under terrible circumstances, to be honest. Devin made a kind of bad joke that I was flirting with his GF here, Kishi, and Zeph almost punched me in the face. Luckily, somehow, it's okay. Somehow it's okay. They seem to know a little bit more about what's going on here too. We meet Jade, who is think classic Redditor. He's a very very Casanova, very flirts with anything that moves. I respect it, but no one else does in the game. There's Grant, the guy he came with. They work at the same company. He's cool. That's the first time anyone's told me Jade is classic Redditor. I mean, you look at him and all you think is Milady. Like, he's not like, you know, like, I don't know. A lot of times when I see like classic Redditor TikToks these days, it's more of like, you know, guys that aren't like very, like they haven't talked to a person, so they're very kind of, odd and weird, but like he knows how to talk. He's very good at flirting. It's just also he's got a Milady feel to him. But yeah, they're chill. Grant has to deal with everyone not liking Jade. I'm sorry, Grant. You do a lot. You do a lot for this. You do a lot for him. And then lastly, we meet William, who okay, listen. I hate this kid. He's a good kid. I hate this kid. And Elizabeth, who my friend describes as the oldest looking young lady. They seem to know a lot about what's going on here. And they seem, well, he seems like, wow, you don't know what's going on here. Eventually we meet the people running this that are like, you know, all masked up. I mean, think Squid Game elite. Think like kaiji rich people watching the poor people gamble. Like, that's the feel I get. And you know, they kind of describe, hey, you're gonna go at 4:44 a.m. specifically. You're gonna go through this door, and you are going to play this game. And we're like, what? And, you know, we ask, hey, will we get hurt? Will we die? And they said, nothing will happen to your physical bodies. Hold on to that. So at 4:44 a.m., we all go through these doors and we get into a strange place where we meet Belle. Belle is a goddess. She seems to be a death goddess. She has a big obsession with the number 4. She is running the Game of Fortune. Laura doesn't want to play. Belle does not care. Belle summons a snake and she's like, haha, I'll just kill you. It's fine. Because she's like, hey, you're gonna play a game. A death game. And we're like, whoa, 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 whoa. We were told we wouldn't die. And she's like, teehee. And Lilith was like, well, Laura was like, I'm not about that. Belle was like, well, you're gonna be about that. And Lilith was like, okay, we'll play your stupid game. So, the way that the game works is that 4 people go into a door. Currently there are 4 doors because there are 16 people. They play a game. Basically Mario Party rules. Either 3-on-1, 2v2, 4 competitive, or 4 only one person can win. No, I said that wrong. For cooperative, or for only one person can win. So we go into the first room. Me and my friend Devin. And the guy that almost kicked my ass, Zeph. And Kishi, his girlfriend. We are put into a game, 3-on-1, where I am the 1, they are the 3. We pick tortures for each other. And whoever dies first on either team wins. Through cunning, I take out Zeph. I take out Kishi. I don't want to, but I have to take out my best friend. My best friend tells me I have to live. And then I live. I have survivor's guilt. Richard, the lovely emo, is like, hey, listen, I understand you're struggling. I understand you're in pain. But I don't think they're dead. Because I came here 4 years ago with my dad. His dad passed away in his game. Because he's like, I came here 4 years ago with my dad. And we saw people come out of the door that they went into before, that we went into. We saw people come out of that at 4:44 p.m. and everything was fine. They looked, you know, like physically fine. Mentally, not sure. And he's like, you know, don't worry about it, buddy. So he helps cheer me up. We decide to be partners. Me and him. And yeah, totally fine. And Maria and Alphonse, we go into game 2 together. We are in a 4-player co-op. We are doing a scavenger hunt where we need to find items. And, you know, like 4 keys. And we have like riddles. The problem is every 5 minutes, a beast comes out and hunts. And it hunts the people that have touched an item. What we didn't realize is that one of the items was literally the time watch that we were given. So it was kind of a struggle, but all 4 of us made it out okay. Alphonse got very injured, but you know, we're in a goddess realm, so she just healed us up after. We were pretty fucking cool. Maria liked it and gave us a kiss. It was cool. You know, so nice. Very nice, man. You're right. So then, we're in game 3. Me and Richard, we're still buddies. We still, you know, we're not like close, but we got shared trauma. So we're like, okay, let's go into the next room together. We go with Teresa and Elizabeth. We are basically given code names to play. The problem is, we see words, and they're like emotions, like, you know, grief or jealousy. So we see the words, but by we, I mean me and Teresa, because we're on opposite teams. But we're like the leaders, you know, the people that say the cards. But Richard and Elizabeth, they see events that make them think that word. And so, through a battle of wits, me and Teresa try to win. It was actually really amazing. I highly recommend checking out the VOD before this, the Game 3 one. Man, that was tense. My heart was racing. It was a really good game, y'all. I highly recommend it. I came out on top. Teresa, Elizabeth, they're toast. So, I think, if I recall correctly, the last 4 people... Oh! Here's one other thing that was important. Right before that match, there were 3 doors, and myself and Richard and Maria and Alphonse all lived. And then on the other side, Teresa and William and Elizabeth and Everett all survived. So the problem is that 3rd room, because 4 people have to die each round. So basically what we assume is that they were given an unwinnable game. And that kind of sucks, but I mean, look at her. Does she look like she cares about fairness? No. So we are going into the last game. And it is myself, if I recall correctly, Richard, Alphonse, and William, I think. I think it's us four. We'll find out when I load. But anyway, that's basically the TLDR of what's happened. It's not really a too long didn't read. I feel like it's a too long. I read a little bit, maybe a medium amount. But that's the game so far. And now we're going into the I'm assuming the very last game. Another cool thing about this game, if you're looking at this VOD for the first time or looking at this for the first time in general, there's a flowchart. It's cool as hell. And you know, it really helps, like, if you are an avid visual noveler like me that wants to see all the endings, it really helps that. And we are around here. Alright, let's go into game 4. When I started last week, I didn't find like a really good stopping place before the game, so I kind of went back a little. I'm trying to remember what the context of this was. William nearly fell down as Belle manifested herself behind us. So we are the people that are left. William was bragging about how cool his skills were that helped him survive the last game because, of course, look at him. He's skillful. And Belle's like, tee-hee, haha, sure. Miss me? I missed you. I mean, I haven't been face to face with you all in so long. I was afraid you'd start to forget my beautiful face. I think you're hard to forget, honestly. And as a reminder, we are Clyde. Thank you. I try to leave a good first impression. Anyway, it's about that time, isn't it, boys? Are you excited for the finale? The last game, the 4th round. 4 will enter and 1 will leave. Belle poofed into a cloud of blue smoke before appearing by the last door once more, beckoning us over with her hand. Come one, come all. Or, really, I guess it's come 4 and no more. Belle was waiting by the door, cheerful and jolly as she's been from the start of the game. This is gonna be it, isn't it? I believe so. Our last game. The 4th round. The round that I'm gonna win decisively. That's the spirit. Now let's not dawdle, we're on a tight schedule. After snapping her fingers, the door opened wide, and we proceeded to walk down the blue hall, with Belle whimsically escorting us through. I gotta say, I gotta respect her. Like, this is true narcissist shit. I love it. I want a giant place where I can have a hallway and put pictures of me in it. Like, I respect it, to be honest. It's real hot girl shit. I respect it, Belle. The halls were silent. If not for Belle's humming, the only thing we'd hear were the echoing of our footsteps. You're all awfully quiet. Shouldn't you be excited? Or maybe you're thinking about a strategy for the next game? Exactly. If you're not a vain god, are you even doing it right? Maybe you're thinking about everything you've done up to this point. Well, don't stress out too much about it. After all, you're all just competitors from here on out. Oh yeah, another thing to mention is that we as Clyde are also feeling the we're feeling the crush of killing 3 people in game 1 and killing 2 people in game 3, and we're like, ooh, what if that's just us? What if we become a killing machine? I'm really worried about that. And you know, our good buddy Richard, our best friend Richard, he's like, listen, the fact that you're stressed out about this means that you won't turn out a killing machine. Don't worry about it. So that's just kind of where our headspace is right now. But yeah. Well, don't stress out too much about it. After all, you're all just competitors from here on out. No matter how much you hate each other or care for one another, there can only be one winner. She was right. The unease continued to grow in me as I quickly looked between everyone. Richard and Alphonse. We just met today, and yet it feels as though I've already forged some kind of bond. And now that bond was going to be tested. We'd compete for our lives, and for some wish that all these deaths would hopefully justify. As for William, I didn't know much about him aside from his crass attitude and how he had some connection to Elizabeth. I'd like to write him off, but I just couldn't shake the nerves. Every one of these games have been some test of will, strength, or cleverness, and I can never tell who had what kind of abilities. But now wasn't the time for hesitation. Something was pushing me forward. Something was telling me to keep going, no matter the cost, and to not look back. I let that feeling light a fire in my heart and marched forward. No more regrets, no more doubts, no more self-pity. I was going to hold my head high and finish this game, and I was going to win. Belle marched us to the door at the end of the hallway and pushed them open. A flash of blue light blinded us for a moment until we saw what was before us. Welcome, Final Four, to our last game, our finale. Please, take a seat. We walked over to the table and each sat down, while Belle circled us and made sure that we felt comfortable. Are you all ready to play? Would you let us leave if we said no? Of course not! We've come so far. Don't you want to see it out to the end? I suppose we're already here. Just get on with it. So rude. But I suppose that's what happens when you get antsy. I came here to win, not to sit down and chat. Okay, then let me explain what you'll be playing. The final game is Dynamite. I'm sure that it will be, but can you explain what the game is? No, that's the game. That's the name. It's called Dynamite. Ugh. First, you'll all need these. Belle clapped her hands, and a set of 4 cards appeared in front of each of us. Those will be your playing cards. Note that they're each numbered from 0 to 3. Have I played this game? I don't know. Really, not 1 to 4. That seems a little out of character for you. Trust me, it's easier for us all if I just use that range of numbers. Anyway, now that you've all got your cards, let me explain the rules. It sounds a little like a party game. It really does, man. Wouldn't you believe the last game is just a party game? The game that one person will come out of the victor and alive and the rest will be dead. A party game. Actually, that's a little more believable if it's a party game. Belle clapped her hands once more and a small spherical object appeared on the table. Yeah, that is the best kind of party game. There's the friendship breaking ones and then there's the killing ones. It looked kind of like a cartoonish bomb that you'd see on a children's television show. To win the game, all you have to do is survive and not get blown up by this bomb. Hence the name, I suppose. That's right. This bomb will start off in front of someone like so. The position will be random, so... Belle pushed the bomb right in front of me, which naturally made me more than unsettled. After the bomb's initial placement has been determined, each of you has to set down a card. You set your card down by placing it face down on the table in front of you. Once you've set it, you can't take it back. Something tells me I'm gonna wanna cheat and card count. I'm gonna want a card count. What did I write on this? Sorry, I'm looking at my sticky notes. I think there's a game called Exploding Kittens. Yeah, I know Exploding Kittens. Is it? Okay, I know Exploding Kittens, but I also haven't played it in like probably a few years. I can't remember if it's the same or not. After all the players have set their cards, you flip them over. We then add the numbers together and the sum will determine how many times the bomb will rotate among players before detonating. You know, this kind of reminds me of like the stupid like water cup game that people play when it's like you each take turns like putting water in it, and then you know, once it starts getting to the top, you're trying to make sure it doesn't spill over, so you're each putting in like maybe a little bit of water. That's what it reminds me of. I see that a lot on TikTok these days, but the first time I saw it was in JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. bomb will move clockwise, just so you know. And that's it. Those are the basic rules of dynamite. Except instead of water, it's bombs, but really the same concept. Exactly, exactly. After each round of play, I'll remove the highest valued card from all the players' hands. So for example, after the first round, I'll take away your 3 card and then your 2 card. Oh, so it doesn't matter if I play a card. Like whatever card we play, she's still taking the first card away. Okay. That's mainly to keep things simple. With less players each round, you don't need as many cards to keep things interesting. Lastly, you can do whatever you want with your own cards, but you cannot, under any circumstances, handle other people's cards. Any questions? I got one. There's no turn order when it comes to setting cards, right? We can just do it whenever. That's right. No need to play polite. Just set your card down whenever you like. Slam that sucker down. Ronnie! Hey! Happy Thursday! How are you? How's it going? And Skirb! Hi, Skirb! Finally! We're together. You're in my stream. And I'm streaming for you. It's like destiny. The stars have finally aligned, exactly. I hope you're doing well. I hope work's been well. You're good. You finally got your OBS back set up. Nice, nice. I hope it wasn't too silly. Cause I don't know. OBS setup is kinda silly. So I hope it wasn't too bad. And you can't swap your card once it's set. Nope. And don't try and sleight of hand tricks. I'll know and I will punish you. It was an ordeal. I feel it. I feel it. But you did it. You're good. I take that to mean an execution of some kind. You'd be right. My Alphonse, you're always so sharp. I respect that about you. It took hours, started at 1, ended at like 6. Oh my god, what did you have to do with OBS? You're telling me that I should probably take a screenshot of my OBS setup, just in case something terrible happens. Oh, got it. No more questions from me. Hey, I've got a question. That's a bomb. How are you gonna make sure that you don't blow us all up when it goes off? Oh, silly Willy. I have complete control over every little aspect of this place. If I want a bomb to blow up and only kill one person, then that's how it's gonna be. Oh, lit. I didn't know you could do that. Okay, great. Perfect. If you want proof, look at this. Belle picked up the bomb and held it right up to William's face. Huh? Wait, I didn't want... The bomb flashed a faint blue before exploding in a spectrum of light and leaving a white hazy smoke behind. Oh, I'm sure if I like poke at it, I'll find it, but I'll let you know if I don't. I couldn't see much, but the floor and parts of the table looked scorched from the blast. Holy shit, is he... Get that smoke away from me. William waved his hand to get the smoky fumes away from him. You're... fine? Fine? My ears and eyes were just blasted with... whatever that was. He's alive, which I suppose is as good as he could hope for. But everything around you looks like it got damaged. Controlled explosion, see? No harm will come to you if you don't let the bomb land on you. Any other questions? Alright then, let's begin the game. First, let's see who the bomb lands on. Belle clapped her hands and a new bomb appeared on the table. It rolled around a bit before finally coming to a stop in front of Richard. Every time you tried to import your settings, they wouldn't show up, so you had to completely uninstall OBS and Stream Elements like 6 times to make sure it completely gone off your computer. Then start from a fresh OBS install, then import. Oof! I can see why that took you so long. That's annoying as hell. I'm so glad you've got it back together. Richard idly looked at the bomb in front of him, and then looked down at his cards. Guess that's some seriously bad luck. Heh. Seems that fortune is on my side. This is gonna be a cakewalk. Hey, actually, you two managed to beat that Teresa girl in Elizabeth. Teresa. I don't know much about her personally, and I don't care if you did beat her, but Elizabeth. I can't believe that Elizabeth lost to a bunch of chumps like you. I hope you die first. Chumps. We made it just as far as you did, and you're gonna call us chumps? Well, Elizabeth is smart, wise, and has tons of experience in this kind of thing. I can't imagine you could beat her easily. So either you cheated, or she let you win. You should be grateful. I rolled my eyes, and then looked down at my cards and then at the table. I mean, you're dealing with the powerful William. Beware. That's giving box ghost energy. And we all know... Well, okay. If you've watched Danny Phantom, we all know about how box ghosts... Yeah, exactly, but we're the box ghost. You're gonna do some test streams later. I think that sounds like a good idea. Do some test streams and like test records too. Hey, the box ghost got really strong that one episode. Okay, remember when I said I watched Danny Phantom? I watched enough. I don't remember specific episodes. This feels like deja vu. I feel like I've done this bit before. Wow, fake fan. I'm sorry. I never claimed to be a big fan. I don't think I could... If I had to remember every episode, I don't think I could claim to be a fan of anything. I got, like, the worst short-term memory, long-term memory. I got the worst memory. It's all good. Box Ghost was a joke 99.9% of the time. It's so true. It's so true. You can remember a lot, to be honest. Okay, watch out, because I'm coming to steal your brain. Like, you can have... Well, is that what I really want? Because I'm pretty good at piano. Well, okay. I'm okay at piano right now. I'm pretty good at clarinet. And, you know, my brain's also pretty good at remembering anime songs. I don't know if I want to give that up. I'm gonna steal the memory from your brain. No. Well, if I steal the memory from your brain and put it into my brain, then I just have extra memory space, right? It's kind of like putting in, like, 4 sticks of RAM. Yeah. Maybe that'll work. You can have it. Oh, so generous. So nice. Alright, I'm on my way. I'm stealing it. I'm coming with a scalpel and a dream. Clockwise order was Richard, then Alphonse, myself, and then William. Okay, so you, and then me, and then him. Okay. We each had our cards ranging from 0 to 3, meaning the highest number we could all make was 12, and the lowest would be 0. I began to wonder what the average number would be, and how to best strategize, but Alphonse stopped all that as he tapped his hand on the table. Hey, let's make the first round an easy one, alright? What do you mean? I don't want to win this game, so if you could all just kindly let me take the bomb, I'd appreciate it. You want the bomb? What kind of reverse psychology nonsense are you going on about? I just don't want to win right now. It would be really inconvenient if that happened this early? This is the last game, Alphonse! You don't want to win right now? If you don't win and survive now, then when will you ever get a chance? I'll find the time and place, but why should you care? I'm willing to take a step out of the competition right now if you let me. You're just lying. No one would try and lose this early, would they? I trust him. Look, how about I just show you then? Alphonse took his cards and flipped them around for all of us to see. I'm going to set down a 1 card so that the bomb moves to me. He is such an upstanding guy. All the rest of you have to do is set down a 0 card and things should be fine, right? That would make sense. You're serious about doing this? Look, this man took a beast, a panther beast for me. I trust him. Good grief, what more do I need to do to prove to you guys I'm not interested in winning? I'll make it even easier so you know I'm not pulling any tricks on you. Alphonse left his cards face up on the table, moving the 0, 2, and 3 cards off to the side while he took the 1 card and set it right in front of him face down. There. Now you know for a fact that I'm not trying to pull one over on you. I looked over at his face-up cards. They were the exact same ones that he put down. He didn't do any fancy tricks. At least none that I could see or understand. Was he really okay just losing and dying here? Also, guys, let me know if the game music is okay. If it's like too low or too big. Too big? Too loud. Well, I'm convinced. So the rest of us just need to put down a 0 card then, right? Yeah, that seems fair enough. Alright then, I'll start and set my card down. Wait. Is something the matter, Clyde? Well, just to be safe, why don't we all do what Alphonse just did? We'll show all our cards face up, and then we'll show each other setting our 0 card down. That way, we can be sure that no one's gonna try anything sneaky. Why would anyone want to try and betray the group like that? I don't know, William. Why would anyone try and betray the group like that? I mean, Alphonse is asking to die. He doesn't want to win. What point is there in not kicking him out early? Simple. Because if he truly doesn't want to win, then you want to keep him alive for as long as possible. Hold on, that doesn't make any sense. William, don't be an idiot. Just think for a second. If Alphonse really doesn't want to win, who would you rather have to face in the next round? Richard and I, who would try and play to win? Or against one of us, and then against Alphonse, who clearly wants to lose? If you were the last two standing, then all that means is that you'd have an easy win. That makes sense. Unless Alphonse wants us to think that so that he can coast to the last round and then win. I hate this man. I knew it was reverse psychology. God, I hate this man. William, stop overcomplicating things, please. Whether that's Alphonse's true aim or not doesn't matter. He's shown his hand. Quite literally. It's reverse psychology. All that matters is that we all work together, and so using my idea should ensure that. Okay, I guess you're right. William flipped his cards over and moved all but the 0 card over to the side of the table. Richard followed suit, and I did the same. We all looked at one another to make sure that our cards were still out in the open and that no one was trying anything funny. Should we do like a countdown or something? Yeah, we can go on 3. Wait, like on 3, or is it like 1, 2, 3, go? Finally, a good question comes out of this man's mouth. Just set your card when I say 3, okay? Gotcha, on 3. We all took our card and put it in front of us. Everything seemed normal. Everything seemed to check out. I was feeling a little relieved in knowing that maybe things would simply go right without a hitch. Y'all, that's when shit doesn't go without a hitch. Oh my god. That's what I had thought. But my eyes couldn't help but notice something was off. Nothing major. It was really the tiniest thing. But it was the way that Richard and William were holding their cards. They were different. Richard had his card face down, hovering over the table, while William had his hovering face up over the table. Something in the back of my mind told me that something was wrong, that I needed to read into this a little more. Hold on. Richard had his card face down, hovering over the table. William had his hovering face up over the table. Who am I not supposed to trust here? I'm gonna save, just in case I pick the wrong option. What do you guys think? We got, like, they have to put their card face down. Richard is holding his face down. It's hovering over the table. William has his face up over the table. Yeah, you can't say. Yeah, you're not allowed. I mean, I've spent the whole time not trusting Richard and trusting William, but, no, the other way. Trusting Richard and not trusting William, but, I think it's weird that Richard has his card face down. I couldn't help but think that something was wrong with Richard's card. Why did he have his face down like that? Granted, I didn't have mine face up yet either, but I knew what I was going to play. My eyes wandered over towards his spare cards. I focused and read them. 3, 2, and 1. Something the matter. Richard noticed me glancing over his cards. Ah, nothing. Are we ready to go? I think I fucked up. I should have trusted him. I sheepishly rubbed the back of my neck, feeling a little silly for doubting him. Sure, we'd have to battle it out eventually, but right here? Probably not. Can we hurry up? Yeah. I looked back over and saw that William had flipped his card down. Maybe he saw Richard and felt pressured to follow suit. Yeah, I should have looked at Richard. Okay. I hovered my card in front of me, face down, and began the countdown. 1, 2, 3. On 3, we all set our cards down on the table. Now we just have to flip them over, right? That should be the right way to go. Should we do another countdown? No point. Just do it now. Alphonse flipped his card over, revealing to no one's surprise the number 1. Richard went next, flipping his card and showing the number 0. I sighed again. I don't know why. I saw the cards at the table. I knew what his only card left could be. I flipped mine over, showing that I too had put down a 0 card. Yeah, I did wrong. Everything seemed to be going well. All that was left was William's card. Cool, looks like everyone followed the plan. I love it when a plan comes together. Yeah, me too. No, don't feel relieved. I hate this man. I felt relief in hearing those words. It meant that he went along with our plan. Of course he did. I saw his cards after all. Yeah, his cards. Yeah, he revealed a 1. My heart sank and my lungs refused to breathe in air. Alright, so that should move the bomb over to Clyde, right? What the fuck? Before I could stand up and even think about smashing his head into the table, a force pulled me back to my seat. Hehe. Teresa taught me that one a long time ago. Amazing how quick you can swap cards over when someone's not looking. Guess she's watching over me from beyond the grave. You bastard. Why didn't you go along with the plan? You explained it pretty obviously yourself. Why would I worry about Alphonse if he's just gonna let himself lose later? You're way more of a threat. You killed your best friend in the first game, and then you beat Teresa and Elizabeth in the last game. If I want to win, I gotta get you out of the picture. You asshole, you'll regret this. Probably not. Especially since you're about to go boom soon. I tried to pull my arms out and off the chair, but it felt as though I was bound by an overwhelming force, tying me down as I watched the bomb roll from Richard to Alphonse and then in front of me. Well, see you later, Clyde. The bomb blinked white for a moment before everything went white and then dark. No heat, no pain, just a flash of white. Is this how things are meant to play out? I was fooled by a sleight of hand trick? Did he swap his cards out when I was distracted? Why didn't I confirm and look over at his upright cards? I'm so stupid. All this and I had to die to some chump that took advantage of my moment of weakness. No, I wouldn't let this be the end. I've come too damn far to let this punk-ass fool play me like this. I won't lose. What? Oh. Clyde, are you alright? I'm fine. My head just really hurt for a moment. It's all a haze, but... Wait, what just happened? Is that a memory? A vision? Something else? Now I'm curious to see if that's something that happens no matter what. Shit, it's slipping away. Can't remember all the details. But this feeling, this dread. I looked over at William, who idly held his card over the table face up. It just felt like he was plotting something. There was something weird about that. Why was William holding his card face up like that? His cards were already off to the side, so why was he holding his cards in such a manner? Did he want us to trust him especially? Yeah, I think I'll load. Because it feels like, my only equivalent is, playing Bug Fables. When you play Bug Fables and there's, like, a sneak mission, when you mess up, instead of, like, dying, like, one of the characters goes, And that's why that wouldn't work. So it feels like that. Here, let me study this man. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's beautiful. I love it. We read this already. Oh, wait, hold on. Granted, I didn't have mine face up yet either, but I knew what I was going to play. My eyes wandered over... Wait, did I pick... I picked Richard again. There we go. There's something weird about that. Why was William holding his card face up like that? Okay, we did that. We did that. We were going to do a countdown too. We'd notice if he was going to hesitate or try something fishy. Then, am I just overthinking things? So that's his plan, scheming bastard. The reason he's got his card face up is... he plans to swap his card, I think? I think he plans to swap it. Maybe he plans to swap his card out? Perhaps he wants to switch it with one of those face-up cards off to the side and think we wouldn't notice. No, that can't be right. We're all too on edge. We'd notice unless we got distracted by something. And the cards are too far away for him to try and do something like that without us noticing. No, that can't be it. The answer must be something else. He's got one underneath. Does he have another card underneath the one that he's showing? If he put a card underneath it facing down, he could trick us into thinking about what card he was going to play. No, that can't be it. All three of his other cards are already off to the side. He couldn't slip another card underneath if he wanted to. So the answer... What? Okay. Oh, okay. The rules state for a card to be set that the card must be face down. Naturally, that's why Richard and myself are both holding our cards face down. And clearly setting them face up doesn't count, since we flipped our cards face up and put them down in front of us. Yeah, he's hella sneaky. Hate this man. Those times they haven't been counted as set before. William must know that, and therefore is luring us into a false sense of security by showing his card like that. He expects us to think he's just going to flip his card face down when we do the countdown, and once we all put our cards down, he's going to keep his face up, and then swap his card for something else. That guy's a bit more clever than he lets on, isn't he? Either way, I can't fall for the trap. I could call him out on it, but instead, I might be able to capitalize on it instead. Yeah, that ought to do the trick. Alright, we all ready? Yeah, I'm good to go. Come on, this is dragging on way too long. Let's just do it. Alright. On 3. 1, 2, 3. I flipped my card just before setting it down. I hid it underneath the palm of my hand. It wasn't elegant, but it just needed to look convincing enough. Richard's card went face down, and William's. As I expected, his card was face up. Hey William, I think you messed up. Huh? What do you mean? I pointed to his face up 0 card with my other hand, as I leaned forward on the table. He looked down at his card, and grinned before leaning back into his seat. In that brief moment, I reached for one of my cards and set it over top my face up one, and leaned back in my seat. I tucked the other cards under my arm and looked over at William. Maybe he noticed, maybe he didn't. But I'd find out soon enough depending on what he did. Oh, that? Guess I messed up. Sorry about that. No problem. Just flip the cards face down and it'll be fine. William looked over at the table, and then smiled as he pulled the 0 card off the table. What are you doing? Sorry, Clyde, but... well, I can't risk having someone like you make it to the next round. Seriously, you're going to do this? It's just good strategy. No matter how I look at it, Clyde's the biggest threat. Richard's kind of weird, but I'm sure that I could beat him in this kind of game, and Alphonse wants to just lose. But Clyde's got this sort of determination thing going on. It's a little overwhelming and intimidating, you know? So you're going to eliminate me from the game because you're scared? I'd like to call it strategic, but potato. Potato tomato. That's not even how the saying goes. Well, you're dead, so your opinion is invalid. William waggled the 1 card in the air before setting it face down. It was nice playing with you, Clyde, but now it's game over. Richard sighed and looked down at his card. Do we flip over our cards now? That's what the rules were. Haha, alright. I'll do the honors of starting us off then. What's the matter, Clyde? You've been awfully quiet since Ouch! William pulled his hand back from his card as he received a nasty shock after trying to pull it up. What the hell? You fucking dumbass. What'd you say? No, not poor. There's nothing poor about this guy. Listen. Okay, probably if I play other rounds, maybe I'll sympathize with him a slight bit, but I hate this man. Wait, hold on, I'm confused. Are we not supposed to flip our cards over yet? Not yet. After all, we haven't all set our cards yet. Yeah, Alphonse, let's go! I wish I could high-five him through the screen. What do you mean we haven't all set our cards? I set mine, Richard set his, you set yours, and Clyde... I smirked as I pulled the top card off the table. You're glad that I'm dissing him at this point? Yeah. Ah, what? But you... He looked over at my arm and finally noticed that only 2 of my cards were there. You cheating bastard, you tricked me. You did the same ass thing, bitch. Look at the pot calling the kettle black. But you... He didn't have a rebuttal and could only stare down at his own card as he realized the pickle he was in. Hey man, now before you go and make some kind of rash decision, we should honor Alphonse's wishes. Fucking... You know, he wants out of the game. We should really let him out. Oh, is that what you think? Pretty sure you put down the 1 card just now, didn't you? That's... He sputtered as he shrunk down in his seat. The way I see it, I could play a 1 card and have you killed, or play a 3 card and kill Alphonse. If that's what you want to do. Wait, alright, give me another chance, man. I screwed up, okay? William quickly became a blubbering mess and was wildly whipping away tears. Come on, man, you're so great and good at these games. I've been coasting through by sheer luck time and time again. He's just a little guy. I don't care if he's wearing glasses, I'll punch him. I knew I couldn't win against you, I had to take a chance. Please give me one more chance and I'll play honestly. God, this was pathetic. I didn't want to let this run on longer than it had to. I just looked through my cards and picked the one I felt was right. In my heart. The one that I felt was right in my heart. In my heart of hearts. Guys, we're fucking killing William. I'm sorry. William tried to trick me once. I wasn't going to give him another chance. Even if I was telling the truth and his move was one of desperation and a feeling of inferiority, I couldn't let that cloud my judgment. This was my best move. Kill William now, then take care of Alphonse next turn. I wouldn't know if I'd get another chance like this after all. I set down my 1 card and then sat back down. What? What did you play? You'll see soon enough. Flip over your cards. Alphonse started, flipping over his to reveal, to no one's surprise, the 1 card. Richard went next, revealing that he set down the 0 card. William was next, looking over me with sobbing eyes and snot rolling down his nose. I don't give a fuck, William! I don't care! He hesitantly flipped his card over to reveal a 1 card. Please. Beg harder. There's no need to beg. I began to flip my card over. You mean you? The brief flicker of hope on William's face. What if I told you it's his birthday? Goodbye, you little shit. The brief flicker of hope on William's face faded away as he saw that I flipped over my 1 card. I knew this was how it was going to end, but even so I felt a little stressed thinking about the outcome. No, I can't lose. I can't lose. Sit down and accept your fate, kid. You want to win so badly, just try harder next time. Everyone loses eventually. You're no special case. William stopped struggling and bit down on his lip and clutched the arms of his chair. There was a moment of calm, of understanding in him as he tried to keep himself from panicking. Then he turned his head and glared at me. I'm going to beat you. I'm not going to take this lying down. Cry harder. The bomb rolled around, stopping at Alphonse, then me, and finally in front of William, who was still crying even if he was trying his best to control himself. You hear me? I'm gonna win! I'm gonna beat you in the finals! Sure, I'll see you again. I don't know why I said that. Like the times before, something just seemed to overtake me. I spoke without thinking, not even understanding what my words meant. But before I could understand everything, the bomb flashed white for a moment and a loud, focused explosion blasted the room. Yeah, serious copium indeed. Okay, we are at an ad break. So let's take a quick break together. A quick 3-minute ad. I put 3-minute ads on the hour so that way, we spend a little less time doing ad time. Well, it's the same amount of time, but you know, it's not like every 30 minutes. Anyway, thank you for watching the ads. I really appreciate it. It helps me get ad revenue. It means you guys don't have to watch pre-roll ads. If you don't want to see any ads, please consider subscribing to me. You'll also get access to my subscriber emotes. So we're gonna have a 3-minute break. I'm gonna take this time to get some water and get up and stretch. Hopefully you guys can take the opportunity to get water and stretch too. Get a bathroom break. Look at Twitter or look at whatever social media you like. I'm gonna go to my BRB screen and I'll see you guys in 3 minutes. Hydration. Actually, I think I have to take my medicine soon too. Hey, there it is. No, you don't. You don't even have a Facebook. You use like Messenger. See, if we met back in the old ages, we would never have been together because I was on MSN Messenger. Anyway, I'm going to take my break for real. Hello, welcome back. I hope you're having a good one. Welcome back to We Killed William. Welcome back to that. Oh man. Oh, I haven't felt this hype in a while. Oh man. On one hand, I do want to see what would happen if I killed Alphonse first, but I'm not gonna fucking worry about it right now, because I'm getting back at William. Alright. I had to rub my eyes before I could see nothing. But the seared, smoking body of William slumped at the seat. Where am I? Oh. I was clicking on the wrong place. Why did I click on the ad? I have an ad button. I'm just thinking about the things that I didn't do. Anyway. Everything else though, his chair, the table, even his cards were untouched. Alright, that was quite a fun round. Let me just get rid of that body. Belle was quick to dispose of the body by sinking it through a hole. Right underneath William's chair. Hey Belle! If you could do this, why didn't you do this in game 1? Huh? Why I have to look at the dead faces of Zelf and Kishi, huh? You could have just ported them away whenever you wanted, huh? Cause she... You're right, cause she's quirky. Imagine I say that with like a bunch of sparkles and hearts. Quirky! Ha ha ha. God, Belle. It would be a real downer to see the charred corpse of your opponent at the table. Or maybe it would be invigorating, I don't judge. And now the cards. Belle reached over and plucked the 3 card from each of our hands. Alright, round 2. What will you do? Belle dropped another bomb on the table, which rolled around until finally it stopped in front of Alphonse. Ah, wonderful. With William out of the way, this should be easy as pie. Alphonse did as he did last round, putting his cards face up on the table, moving the 1 and 2 cards off to the side and setting his remaining card in front of him. This shouldn't take long now, should it? No, it shouldn't. I followed Alphonse's lead and showed my cards, moving the others to the side before taking my 0 card and hovering it over the table. Richard did the same, and while we were both going through the motions, there was a sense of tension between us. It wasn't this round. We knew that it didn't matter here. It was the future, the inevitable final round that was worrying. Maybe that's why he looked down at his card and frowned slightly. Hey, don't lose focus now. Whatever you two have to deal with, do it next round. I seriously don't want to get fucked over by you two. In fact... Alphonse reached over and grabbed my face-up cards. Hey! Look, this is just gonna work out faster, and you don't have to worry about either of you betraying one another. What are you... Hey! You can't do that, Alphonse. That's against the rules. Yeah, I know. The fuck are you gonna do about it? I love him! I love you, Alphonse. You don't get to ruin our game and not suffer the consequences. The bomb blinked red and let out an ominous beeping noise. And without waiting another second, exploded in a similar fashion that it had only a few seconds ago. Man, Alphonse knew what he was doing. All that was left was the charred corpse of Alphonse sitting in the chair. That was a bit hasty, don't you think? What the fuck? I knew he wanted to lose, but he didn't have to go and do all that. I guess to him, he'd rather not deal with the idea of one of us betraying another one and being put into the final. Really? He up and wanted to die. Ugh. Those people are the worst. The worst. Can't believe that I'm going to have to deal with this all game. Belle pouted as she kicked Alphonse's chair over and then glared at the body for a few seconds before taking a deep breath and relaxing. Okay, moment over. Let's just move him along. Belle snapped her fingers and Alphonse's body just seemed to fizzle into dust. Look, she's not the most elegant. Huh? Oh, don't worry about that. You've got a game to play. No, you turned him into dust. Dust, sand, silt. What's the matter when your life's on the line? Do you want to end up the same as him? Not particularly. And what about you, Richard? I'd rather not. Good, then. Just win. Belle plucked Richard's 2 card and did the same with mine. She then reached behind her back and pulled the last bomb of the game and put it out on the table. It rolled around, going between Richard and I before finally stopping in front of me. In the end, it really doesn't matter who the bomb is in front of, does it? I guess not, especially since we only have 2 cards in hand. We could each play a 1 or 0. In reality, our cards are more like keep the bomb or give the bomb away. And whoever can solve the puzzle of what the other is playing will win, or lose if they so desire it. Do you want to lose? Not particularly. Don't get me wrong, I think you're a nice enough guy, Clyde. And maybe this is your chance at winning. But it's also my chance, too. Then we're both playing to win, then. It's not really a game if no one's trying to win, is it? So the real question is, how are we going to play? What do you mean, how are we going to play? All we can do is set down a card. Well, you're right, but think about all the tricks that have been employed in the games we've played. There's always a way to tip the game in your favor. Some trick, some plan to try and put yourself in the advantageous state. We could play a game of wits, trying to figure out a surefire way to win. Or we could play an honest game and try to read one another. Honestly, I'd rather we just do this without having to trick one another. That would be ideal, wouldn't it? But you can never tell someone's intentions just from words. William made that clear enough. Still, it's not like one of us would admit to trying to trick the other person, right? I suppose you're right. And all we can do is play how we think will benefit us best. Showdown with Richard, the finale of the finale. Exactly, my bro. My bro. Right, well, how about this? Can we at least agree on who plays first? Agree? How would we do something like that? Well, usually you could flip a coin or something like that. What about the cards? They're basically coins. In a sense that they have a head and a tail side. Are cards as equal as coins when it comes to flipping? No idea, but it looks fair enough, doesn't it? I suppose you're right. Since I thought of that idea, do you want to flip the cards? I trust you. You can flip the card. Okay, that sounds good enough to me. I picked one of my cards at random and chucked it into the air. Heads! The card slowly began to twist and twirl in the air and slowly made its way down towards the table. Shit! I realized how dangerous the situation was, and quickly swiped the card out of the air before it landed on the table. Oh, I see. Is there a reason why you didn't let the card fall? I glared at Richard, who seemed confused by my sudden and intense stare. There was a chance that the card would have fallen in front of me face down. And since he was looking at the card flipping over and over again in the air, he'd know exactly what card had been placed down. Granted, it wasn't a guarantee that it would end up like that, but still. Nothing, maybe we could do something else. Okay, what do you suggest? Here, we'll do this instead. I grabbed both of my cards and hid them behind my back. I'll shuffle my cards behind me, and then hold them out with the backs facing you. Then all you have to do is guess which hand has the 1 in it. If you guess right, I'll go first. If you're wrong, then you'll go first. That sounds fair enough. Good, good. I sighed and then shuffled the cards behind my back, swapping them from hand to hand before bringing them up in front of my face. The 0 card was in the left hand, and the 1 card was in my right. Richard looked between each card, quietly humming to himself. Yeah, I mean, it is pretty fair. I think I'll pick... He raised his hand up into the air, and I watched his eyes dart between the cards. Then suddenly, his eyes locked onto mine. Shit! He smirked as he pointed to my right hand. God, I must have... You know, I forgot that he could read emotions. That one. That bastard. How could I forget? How could I forget that he could know just by looking at me? I don't have a poker face. He could read my eyes as if they were mirrors reflecting the cards, clear as day. My hand shook as I flipped the card over to reveal that he was right, meaning that I had to go first. Great. Well, by all means, go ahead and place down your card. I looked down at my cards, realizing the folly I made. It doesn't matter what card I picked because... Richard would be glaring at my eyes, reading every emotional cue that I could give him. He'd be able to read my fear, terror, excitement, relief, surprise, joy, anguish. Every emotion was painted on my face, and he could read it. I may have just flipped my cards over and showed him what I was putting down. As long as his eyes were glaring at me, I'd have no choice but lose. I was going to lose. I was going to die. My heart began to pound through my chest. Despair began to flood my mind, as all I could think about was how doomed I was. Eventually, it overflowed. My eyes began to water, and I couldn't help myself. My body shivered as my eyes focused on my cards. It was hopeless. Well, near hopeless. I only had one option left. Richard, can you turn away, please? It was a pathetic and pitiable display. I couldn't control my tears from rolling down my eyes as they dripped onto the table. I don't want you to look at me like this. Richard frowned for a moment, probably sizing me up to see if I was trying some trick. But he'd know. He'd know as soon as he saw my misty, despair-filled eyes that I was out of tricks, out of ideas. Does it feel good to be the one begging, huh? Listen, I'd rather beg to him than anything else. We've been through like 3 games together. It's okay. He already knows how pitiful I am. I've already cried to him about killing people. It's fine. Well, out of good ideas anyway. Eventually he sighed and turned his back towards me in his seat. This was it. This was my only hope. I looked at my cards for just a moment, then locked my eyes shut and began to shuffle them. I'm really leaving this up to chance? I needed to fool myself. Needed to be able to tell which card I was going to put down. It didn't matter if Richard could read my eyes, if myself didn't know what card I was going to set. If I myself didn't know what card I was going to set. It was random. It was luck. It would all be based on fate. But a 50% chance was better than a 0% chance. I had to win. I had to win, even if it was just by sheer luck. I opened my eyes and put one card to the side, and prepared to slam down my unknown card on the table and leave the rest up to chance. Is that really how you want things to end? I stopped, my hand hovering just inches over the table, as I looked over at Richard, who still had his back to me. What? Every victory you've had up to now has been by your will, hasn't it? Are you really gonna leave things like this up to chance now? Would you be satisfied with a victory that wasn't by your strengths? That you'd let fate either drag you across victory or pull you to hell? Was this journey really nothing to you? Are you truly that weak? I can't win like this, Richard. You're just trying to trick me into thinking that I should face you head on. I can't win. I can't win when you can read my face so easily. I don't care. I don't care if I have to rely on fate. I don't care if I'm weak. What does that matter now? Is that really how you feel? Would you be satisfied with a gamble like that? But sometimes I like to feel... I know I wrote this, but sometimes I like to feel proud about it. You better! This is good shit! Aren't you tired of leaving things to fate? Don't you want to take things into your own hands? Aren't you tired? Don't you just want to go apeshit? I want to, but I can't. I'm not like you. I don't have anything I can rely on. You idiot. What have you been relying on all this time? Was it just luck you survived up to this point? Don't you just want to go apeshit? Exactly. I know he's taunting me. He just wants to know what card I put down. He doesn't want me to leave it up to a gamble. So why am I hesitating? There's no trick. There's no victory for me here in a game of honor. So what's holding me back? What's keeping me from putting my hand down? What's stopping me? I forgot what voice I gave Devin. You can do this. Ah! That voice. My head swiveled around. For a moment, I heard her voice. I felt her influence. So familiar, so close. And yet, so far. Maybe it was madness or desperation making me hear things. Feel things, see things. But maybe a little bit of desperation was what I needed. Because in that hesitation, I saw it. A glimmer of hope. A small shot at victory. I just needed to calm down, focus, and think. Think about the rules. Think about what's happened. Think about how you can turn this to your advantage. I looked around one last time. In front of me were 2 cards, each with a 0 and 1. Richard also had the same amount of cards. The bomb was right in front of me. And then at the other ends of the table were Alphonse and William's empty seats, along with their cards as well. The first key to winning is... the table! Is the first key to winning the table? Not really, the table is just, well, a table. Admittedly a strong and beautiful table, considering that it's taken some serious explosions, but there's nothing special about it. Maybe the table is what causes us to get zapped when we try and lift up our cards when they're set, but it's not really the key to my victory here. Somebody set us up the bomb. Flip the table, exactly. The bomb? Is the answer the bomb? No, the bomb is just gonna explode. There's nothing special about the bomb. Well, that's not quite true. It only rotates depending on the final sum of the game, and then it explodes, killing the person who was in front of it. But despite the violent explosion the bomb causes, it never damages any of the cards, the table, chairs, or the players. Or the other players. In that sense, that means something else should be usable here. Okay, I get it. That's right, the cards. No matter how much I think, the cards are the only way to influence where the bomb will rotate to. The key to winning here is the cards. However, it's not just any particular cards that matter here. If I want to win, whose cards am I going to need to use? I can't use anyone else's. Like, I do think I need to use the dead players' cards, but I don't think I need to use them. So let's say my own. My own cards, maybe? Well, in a way, I would need to use my own cards, but I can't rely on them. If I just use these 2, then Richard's going to be able to read my eyes and know what I picked. I could also gamble, but I don't need to gamble like this when I have a surefire way that I can win. Yeah, I need the dead players' cards. I find it odd that Belle didn't remove the cards from the table if they weren't able to be used anymore. Despite the violent explosions and the death of Alphonse and William, their cards are still tucked on their side of the table, and they're very much still playable and unharmed. If I could use their cards, I'd have more options to pick from. Still, even if they're there, that doesn't mean I can pick them up. Exactly, I could just get disqualified and die. Well, normally that would be the case, but those cards are under different circumstances because they don't belong to players. Those cards don't belong to players. After a player dies, they cease being a player, they're just a corpse. Gruesome, yes, but under Belle's definition, they're not players anymore, since they're not setting cards or flipping them over. Essentially, once a player dies, they cease being a player, and in turn, that means that their cards don't belong to them anymore. They're fair game. Anyone can take them without worrying about being disqualified. But not only that, if you follow that logic, then another solution comes to light. Since players cease being players upon death, what else is true? They can't set cards. If the players aren't players upon death, then their cards can't be set? No, that's not quite right. I mean, it is in a way, but it's not relevant. It's not as though I could trick Richard by using a corpse I don't have. Think, Clyde, you're right there. The bomb doesn't rotate to them. Well, naturally, they're not... Okay, I'm sorry, I'm stupid. They're not in the game anymore. And that's not really a solution that I can make use of. Even if I change seats now, the bomb will still follow me since I'm a player. Come on, Clyde. You're so close. That's it. The height... I guess. Well, it's removed from Al's hand, but not removed from William's hand. Okay. I'm just picturing the rest of the players slumped over the table just waiting for Clyde to discard. You're right. I'm just exploring all the options available to me. Belle specified that each player would have their highest value card removed after each round. Oh, okay. Yeah. But the rounds end when someone dies. Therefore, the first deceased player should still have all their cards. And the second deceased player should have all but one of their cards. Yes, I can use this. With this, I can win. Even so, there's no guarantee that all my assumptions are correct. Belle might consider the dead player's cards still other players' cards, or maybe she still removes each of their highest value cards, despite them being dead. But I have to take the risk. It's now or never. If I can win here, then it'll all be over. I reached over towards Alphonse's cards and quietly picked them up. I winced, wondering if the bomb would explode as I made the move. But it didn't. My first assumption was right. The cards don't belong to any other players, so anyone could use them. I grabbed William's cards and quickly added them all to my own. Richard hadn't turned around yet, or noticed what I was doing, and I doubted that he was going to stay silent for long. I had to act fast. I quickly looked over my cards and checked to see if my assumption was correct. I grinned. It looked as though everything would work out. Well, maybe. There was never a guarantee. I imagined that Richard might be looking to sniff out my plot, or maybe he'd still rely on his emotion reading skills. But I had to try. I couldn't play from behind anymore. I was going to win. I was going to get through this. I moved the cards around, took a deep breath, and then prepared myself for the showdown. You're right, Richard. There's no point in having this be a game of fate. Not while I've got everything figured out. Richard flinched and craned his head back over towards me. Have you found your resolve? I wiped my face of the remaining tears, and then grinned back at him. I've not just found my resolve, I've found a way to win. Richard looked me dead in the eyes, and then I saw it, a look of confusion and fear. He could sense it, my confidence. I'm sure that he could see it in me. I said I'd go first. Are you ready? Ah. He still seemed to be in a daze from my overwhelming confidence, but steeled himself as he reaffirmed his gaze on me. You can try and bluff your way through this, but I'm not going to fall for it. It's no bluff, I'll show you. With this! I started by taking the cards into my hands, and then I took the card off the top and flipped it face up. I displayed proudly a 1, and watched as Richard's face shook again with confusion. Before he could regain composure, I slammed another card face up. With this, plays Exodia. Another 1. I looked back at Richard, who seemed wildly disturbed by seeing 2 1 cards suddenly face up on my side of the table. How? Wait, but you can't have those cards. None of us have duplicates. One of these must be a fake. They're not fake at all, Richard. See, they're just not my cards. Not your... Richard looked at the sides of the table and noticed the missing cards from each end. You swiped the cards from the dead? That's right. I mean, no point in hiding it. After all, you would have just found out just by looking at the sides of my little deck here. That's right, Richard. I have 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons. Jesus Christ, that's a lot of Blue Eyes White Dragons. Richard growled in irritation, but then brushed a hand through his hair. What difference does it make? It doesn't matter if we take all their cards. The ratio is... I can't let him get momentum. I have to put pressure on him. I have to show confidence. You looking at my deck, Richard? Before he could finish his sentence, I slammed down another card face up. A 0 card. What are you doing? Are you just trying to play me for a fool? I didn't answer. I instead simply flipped up another card. One more 0 card. 2 1s and 2 0s. That must mean... I interrupted him as I slammed down the last card of my deck face down in front of me, officially setting the card that I intended to play. So I think that I am tricking him into thinking that I put down a 2. But in reality, I believe I'm putting down a 3. Richard went wide-eyed and then turned his gaze to me. Hold on, you should have... Where is it? Where's the last card? You should have one more card. One more card? What are you talking about? There's not one more card missing. I saw a look of frustration take over Richard's face as he leaned forward and glanced all around the table. That's it. Get flustered, get confused, question everything. What's the issue? I already set my card down. Everything's up to you now. That frantic look of confusion on his face reached an apex, as he reached for his cards and then prepared to set one down. But he hesitated. He brought his cards back to his chest, sat back down, and took a deep breath. Not good. I didn't need him to calm down. Hey, you gonna play a card or what? You almost got me. Huh? Really, I just needed to calm down and think. You set down 2 zeros and 2 ones. Then you set down one more card. That would put you at 5 cards. Right? So that would mean the card you put down was either a 0 or a 1. I bet you just hid one of the cards in your bag, right? There it is. That nervousness. I can see it in your eyes. In the end, all that was just a little show to get me off my game. You avoided eye contact for most of that, but no matter how you try and hide it, I can see that sense of unease. I smell it! Ultimately, you're still stuck in the same position now as you were just a few minutes ago. Just with a few more cards. I felt sweat rolling down my back, fearing what was going to happen next. So then, Richard plucked a card from his hand and showed me a 1 card. My heart skipped a beat, and I saw Richard's smile crawl across his face as he saw what he was looking for. You looked really scared after I showed you that 1 card, Clyde. I suppose that means either you put down a 1 yourself. No, I must have put down a 2 then. Good game, Clyde. You did amazingly well, all things considered. You've earned my respect. You have amazing skill, a quick wit, a strong heart, and an unfailing courage. Yeah, Keikaku smirk! Keikaku means plan. When this is all over, I hope that we can be friends. I think that we'd learn a lot from each other. Are you done talking? Oh, don't be so angry. I understand that this might be scary to you, but just shut up and look at this. Huh? I reached into my sleeve and flung a card towards Richard. It slid across the table and landed face up in front of him. He looked down at the card as it slid across the table. Ah, so you're admitting defeat. That's an honorable... Huh? I turned around, refusing to look at him. But I could imagine the look on his face. He was probably confused, surprised, and, most importantly, scared. He should be, after all. The card that I flung at him was... a 1 card. Oh, okay, then I did put down the 3. What is this? I didn't answer, keeping my firm stance and refusing to turn back to face him. Hey, look at me, Clyde. What the hell is this? This third 1 card. It's not real, right? This is just some kind of trick, isn't it? It's a +4 card. I could hear the desperation growing in his voice. Pick up 25. He was faced with a contradiction. Logic would state that I only had 3 0 and 3 1 cards. Since I revealed 2 zeros and 3 1s, the card I have set should be a 0 card. But when he looked into my eyes and saw my nervousness, he must have figured out I put a 1 card. And now he has to reckon with whether I somehow was able to fake my emotions in front of him, or if there's some kind of trick I'm employing. Turn around, you coward! Let me see your eyes. You can't play me for a fool like this! You hear me, Clyde? Explain yourself. Your eyes. You can't lie to me with your eyes. So why doesn't this make sense? What the hell did you do? What are you? How did you do this? Clyde, turn around. Face me and turn around. I'll only turn around if you set a card down. I can't set a card down like this. Face me if you dare. I fulfilled my end of the deal. I played first, and now you have to play. The cards. You must have done something with the cards. If I can figure it out, I can... Are you sure you want to take that risk? I shuffled up my cards with the others pretty well. If you touch mine, you'll just end up dying. Tch, so it was a card trick. Then you really did put down a 1 card. Believe what you want to believe, but I'm done talking. We were struck in silence for what felt like hours. I could only find solace in my heartbeat, but even then, I was afraid that somehow Richard would figure everything out. That maybe my posture would give it away, that my shivering would belie my confidence, that I might have given him some kind of clue. Eventually, I heard the sound of Richard setting a card down. It's done. I set a card down. I didn't want to take any risks, so I reached backward to feel where the card I had set down had been played. If Richard really did set down a card, then I'd be able to touch it without getting zapped. I was able to lightly lift the card up, so I figured it was safe. I took a deep breath and turned around to see Richard solemnly looking down at the set card in front of him. Even when I fully turned around, Richard didn't bother to raise his eyes to meet mine. You don't want to see my eyes? I can't trust them right now. I don't know what to believe. Excuse me. He can't look at you during. It's okay, you can be a little shy. It's fine, Richard. Do you want to flip first, or should I? I'll go first. After all, you played your card first. Richard took a deep breath and raised his hand over top of his own. It looked as though he was fighting to find the strength to lift the card off the table. When he raised and flipped the card over, it revealed a 0 card. I felt tears well up in my eyes, and my lungs exhaling all the tension that was stored up in my muscles. It was over. It was over. Relief. He was right. I felt sweet relief. I went to flip my card over, but Richard intervened. Wait, I don't understand. How? How did you win? You should have trusted your instincts. My skills were all about just finding a way to win, a way to survive these games. But if you just thought about it for a while, you'd understand why I looked so afraid and nervous when I showed you that one card. I flipped over my card to show Richard the real ace up my sleeve. The card I revealed was a 3. Yo, I love this change. Let's go. Second deck. 3? How did you manage to get a 3 card? We all lost a top card in our hand each round. Not quite. See, that only applies to players. When someone dies, they cease to be a player. So when William died, he didn't lose any cards. Hang on. If that's true, then you should have 9 cards. I counted 6. Where did the other 3 go? Believe in the heart of the cards, indeed. I reached into my bag and tossed out the other 3 cards. 2 2s and 1 0. I had to trick you into thinking that, like us, the dead players lost their cards too. When you had your back to me, I threw those 3 cards into my bag, and left the others in my little deck. I couldn't risk you reading my plans though, so to ensure you didn't look at me, I flipped the cards over and over again, showing you the narrowing possibilities. Clyde is hot. Clyde is so hot right now. But you only showed 4 cards, and then set 1 down. Your 3 card. Why not show the 3 1s and then the 2 0 cards? That again was to keep you from thinking logically. It is his pretty eyes. You could have come to the same conclusion given enough time and focus. I was actually a little afraid when you almost slammed down a card. I needed you to be on tilt, so I let you read my eyes, and only when I was sure you were confident did I throw that wrench into your plans. That 3rd one. Right. After that I turned away because I knew you'd try to read my face again. But I needed you to make a choice. Believe in the logic that I had presented to you, or trust in your abilities and deny the logic. I thought that if I had showed everything at once, you'd take the time to figure it out. So I needed to make a desperate move to make you feel confused and question everything. Even then, though, you could have calmed down and maybe figured out the same things that I did. All that to say that it was just a really wild gamble. A gamble that I'd be able to defeat your impressive emotion reading abilities. I see. You gauged that I trusted my abilities so much that when it faltered, I would fall back on seemingly infallible logic. People do that. When our usual tricks and strategies fail, we move on to the most secure thing. Like latching onto a stable branch after falling from a tree. Clyde's a dishwasher. He knows the importance of a good skin, lip, and face care. Yeah, you're right. How poetic. You have quite a way with words. You know, despite all this, I really wish it didn't have to come down to this. I don't want you to die. Of course, fate had other plans as the bomb rolled over towards Richard's side. Richard looked up at me. taking a deep breath and then relaxing into his seat that took a firm grip on him. I can tell. You've got a strong heart and benevolent spirit about you. And that's not from me looking at you in the eyes. You said that death wasn't the end here, right? We're going to meet again and everything's going to be alright, isn't it? He nodded and smiled back at me. The bomb rolled back over to my side. My heart started to ache again as I felt my eyes watering once more. Why was I such a crybaby? Now, of all times, I needed to keep my head up, didn't I? Hydrate, thank you! I'll hydrate right now. Oh, I see, you're just Tamagotchiing me. Okay. My posture was pretty bad, so I will adjust it. Thank you. Hey! We did indeed win. Oh, hey! I forgot to put the thing away. Okay. Remind me to do that later. We'll meet again. And it's comforting to know that such a strong spirit is here with us. Or at least I need to make, like, that bit smaller. Yeah! It's Final Fantasy XIV fanfare! Let's go! It's so epic. Even in defeat and failure, I know that you'll somehow have a great impact on a lot of people here. For however brief that they let you into their hearts. After all, it's been a while since I've seen such a radiant soul inspire me so. You better be telling the truth, Richard. I'll see you when all this is said and done. He laughed again, and as the bomb rolled over towards his side once more. Of course, and while you may not remember this, I hope that you can feel what I'm about to tell you. You're no failure. You're an amazing man that can amount to amazing feats when the time calls. Don't let one incident of pain define you or your future, okay? I won't, Richard. Glad to hear it. I'm sure Devin is proud of how well you did. Anyway, looks like it's my time to go, so see you soon, friend. Richard! The bomb blinked white for a moment and then everything went white. Eventually, the white light faded and I looked up to see a calm, cloudless sky. My hands were gently grazed by grass that was flowing to a calm breeze. I felt an odd sense of peace, my body being hugged by the grass and brushed by the wind. But rather than get sucked into the calming experience, I sat up and looked around. All I could see was grassy hills rising and falling towards the horizon. My vision was slowly pulled over towards the one landmark over the entire grassy meadow. A table with 2 chairs set out, with Belle sitting down and enjoying a cup of tea. Once her eyes met with mine, she joyfully waved her hand around and beckoned me closer. It is quite a lovely view, isn't it? Hey Clyde, come on over. I made some tea for us. I didn't see anywhere else to go, so I obliged. I cautiously walked over and took a seat across from her. A seat. She wasted no time pouring a cup of an amber-colored tea into my cup. Well, go on. Tea is made for drinking. Enjoy yourself, you've earned it. I stared down at the cup, then slowly brought the drink to my lips and sipped. This is amazing! I expected it to have a bitter taste to it, but it was sweet, with a strong ginger flavor with a hint of apples. Frankly, it was just perfect. I know, right? It's my special blend. The flavors match your desired taste perfectly, warming up the heart and soul and providing a most excellent taste. Yeah, it's good. Good? It's the best darn tea you'll ever have in your life, death, and anywhere in between. Okay, it's great. I frowned as I looked down at the tea again, staring at my reflection from the drink. It doesn't feel good, you know? Like winning all this. Really? You're not happy that you've won? Don't get me wrong, I'm happy that I'm alive. I'm grateful that I made it here to the end. It's just... I just don't understand why, really. Why did I have to go through all this? Why did I have to fight and kill? It was all for a wish, right? All these games, all this death. When I was playing the games, all I could think about was winning and surviving. And all it did was remind me of how my life used to be. How all I cared was finding some worth in being able to win. I hate it. For God's sake, I killed my best friend. I threw away morals and used every desperate trick I could think of just to survive. All that just for some dumb wish? Who would want that? Belle was silent, but kept her eyes locked onto mine, as though she were peering into my soul. Life and death. Do you feel as though you understand them? What do you mean by that? Do you know how valuable life is when you're fighting tooth and nail for your very survival? Do you understand how precious and fragile it is when you see someone you love die? These games are simple. They test how much you value life. Yours and others. After going through such painful trials, seeing so much death, fighting for your life, you come to appreciate it. So, this was all just some test? Some lesson that you're trying to impart on me? Not just you. Everyone here. I try and make sure everyone here learns something, as these games are special and affect forces that can have immense consequences. For example, bringing someone back to life. You can bring someone back to life? Belle laughed, but then nodded her head. Do you see that 4-leaf clover over there, sitting in that bottle? Yeah. It grants one of the 4 wishes. Life, death, immortality, and mortality. Since you made it this far, you can make a wish to bring anyone you want back to life, granted that you know of them. Or you can have anyone you hate die. You can give someone immortality, and ensure that they can't die. Or you can remove that veil of immortality and make someone mortal again. Those are the wishes. Those are the wishes, and I will grant one of them in earnest. Though I'll also let you know if a wish would be invalid. After all, it would be hard to kill someone who's already dead, or someone who's immortal. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. This is a trick. This is too good to be true. You're going to twist my words or intentions somehow, and I'll end up worse off than when I started. Oh, Clyde, I understand your hesitation, but I'm not some cruel goddess that wants to make people suffer. I understand intentions quite clearly. Think about it. If people realized my wishes were twisted and unfair, would they flock to these games? I suppose they wouldn't. Then again, some people are desperate enough to try anything, even if their desires get twisted and their wishes interpreted the wrong way. So suspicious. Well, caution is a good thing to have. But I can promise you that not once have I ever ruined someone's wish. Imagine such a cruel joke, making you go through all this to have your wish corrupted. Yeah, I'm not a cruel god, makes people kill one another. I'm not cruel, I'm nice. A flashback to when she fucking put Laura in the snake grip. The grip of the snake. People would sooner curse my name than actually come pay me a visit. Alright, I guess that makes sense. Exactly. Now I won't push you, but I do believe you had a certain goal in mind when you came here, didn't you? You wanted to save your mother, right? Yeah, I did, but now? Did something change? My mind flashed back to the first game. The physical pain and torment that happened was nothing like the emotional blow that shook me seeing Devon die right before my eyes. Yeah, I lost my best friend, so I want to use my wish to revive her. I want her by my side again. Damn, he just threw his mother away in a second. Those are some romantic words that you're using. Don't fuck with me. I wouldn't be able to live knowing that she died and that I did nothing to bring her back. So please, let me bring her back to life. Clyde, I can't do that. Why not? You said that I could use my wishes to bring back the dead. You said you wouldn't twist any of my intentions, that you knew what I want, that you know what I want. Well, damn it, I'm laying my heart out as bare as I can, and you won't even let me do this? Calm down and let me explain. I promise you'll feel better after I speak. I sat back down and tried to settle myself. Belle sighed and took a sip of her tea. I can't revive Devon because she's not dead. Look, we've been telling this man this the entire time, the entire game. And he still don't understand. What the hell do you mean she's not dead? I saw with my own eyes. Are you telling me it was just a lie? Well, she's dead, but she's not dead in the way that you're thinking. Everyone here except for you is currently dead, so to speak. But death here isn't quite the same as it is elsewhere. Think of this place as a limbo, or perhaps purgatory. A place between life and death where the rules of life and death are fluid. So, you're saying that she's not really dead? Precisely. And I can promise you that everyone, Devin included, will be returned back to the regular world alive and as healthy as they entered. Physically, anyway. Mentally, well, many people tend to be overwhelmed after their experiences here. I suggest going to therapy after all this. Yo, can you give me money for therapy, Belle? I see. Then Richard was telling the truth. The dead here don't really die. You should know that better than anyone else, Clyde. Didn't you feel Devin helping you out all those times? Huh? What are you talking about? Never mind. Well, I can at least say that Devin, in her own way, was pushing you forward. Was she really helping me all this time, even after death? Well, it doesn't matter now. You've won. You don't need any more help or guidance. I see. Then... Oh, excuse me. That immortality thing, how does it work? I figured you'd ask. It's what it sounds like. I give someone immortality, making it impossible for them to die. They could get shot, stabbed, dismembered, burned, or eaten alive. But their body will piece itself back together and be good as new. You're making it sound more like torture than a gift. For some, it just might be. Does that work for illness as well? Of course! Though, you can get sick, your body will naturally heal itself back up. Some might say it's the cure for all diseases, but that's just one way to look at it. Think how sad you'll be, not being able to take sick days off. She's got a point. So, I can really save my mother just like that, get rid of her illness. Just like that, if that's what you really want. Okay, but here's the problem. I'm giving immortality to my mom. She's gonna get like shot and she's gonna be like, what the fuck? Or like, I'm gonna grow old and she's gonna be like, why am I still alive? Is this what you really want? Yeah? Then I want that. I'll wish for my mother to have immortality. Okay, wish granted. Belle reached over towards the clover and tapped one of the leaves. It momentarily glowed blue before fading back to its usual green. She then took a sip of her tea while I sat there anxious and waiting for something. Yeah, son, why am I old as fuck and not dead at 140? Exactly. I sat there anxious and waiting for something awe-inspiring to happen. But nothing occurred, the wind continued to blow, the sky continued to shine, and Belle continued to drink her tea as though everything was normal. That's it. That's it. She took a sip of her tea and started to play around with the clover in her hand. Like, really, that's all it takes? That's all it takes. You look surprised. I don't know, I guess I was expecting something more regal? Flashy? Amazing? A spectacle like that isn't really needed. That's just what you expect because the gravity of granting someone immortality is just so amazing. You think it needs some grand ceremony. If I granted a wish to give you a cup of tea every day, you probably wouldn't have batted an eye if I granted in the same way. I suppose you're right. But you should be happy. I'm sure your mother will be glad to know that her son went out of his way to save her life. Yeah, that's gonna be a weird conversation to have. Indeed it will be. So, what now? Well, we'll talk for a while and then you'll start to feel a little sleepy. You'll fall asleep and then lose your memories. And then we'll all play another round of the game. Wait, we're playing again? Yep, but look on the bright side. You'll get to see all your friends again. Though I guess you wouldn't remember them fully. No, I don't want to go through that again. I don't want to. You can't make me. Oh, but I can, Clyde. And I will. But you won't remember anything. Not after the game starts again. Why? Why do we have to go through this again? Because everyone needs to learn a lesson. Everyone needs to make a wish. You can't make me. Makes you again. Yeah, it's a cycle. It's a cycle. Boys, girls, non-binaries. We stuck in it. I know that seems painful and cruel to subject you to these games time and time again, but those are my rules. I looked down at my tea and I felt the panic that had started to boil in my blood begin to simmer down. That there's nothing to it, right? Eventually I'll lose and I'll die like everyone else. Now you're getting it. Ideally, you'll only have to go through this 15 more times. 15, huh? Do we each only get one wish? That's right, one wish per game. If you want to make another, you'll have to stop by again in 4 years. I see. I think I understand now. I cupped my tea and took another sip. I guess I'll just play along then, until the end. Bitch, you're gonna lose your memories anyway! Yeah, honestly. I'm impressed that you did so well considering how little you knew. How little I knew. Well, lots of people here know all about the mechanics and rules and how the game plays out because they've been here before. Some people don't have personal experience, but they hear the rules and such from someone else. And then, there are a few people like you that came in here knowing absolutely nothing. You come in here scared, confused, and weak. Most of the time, those kinds of people are usually the last to win. But you managed to win first out of everyone. I think that's kind of commendable. I don't know what to say. I guess I just never gave up on myself. That's cute, but it's also the kind of attitude that makes you win. You fight for something, or maybe you fight for many things. And sometimes, someone helps push you along in that fight. What are you implying? I'm just saying that you had a lot pushing you forward. Your general competitive spirit, your desire to survive, the support of others, and maybe even your affection for certain Devon Rhodes. You can't... I'm just teasing. Though love and affection are wonderful motivators, as you'll see in the future. As she spoke, I felt my body getting heavy and my vision getting blurry. Panda, why you say you hungry twice in a row? Looks like it's almost time then. That's right. Well, this has been a splendid conversation, Clyde. I'm glad that I got to meet someone who respects life and death so much. That you've taken my lessons to heart so well. But aren't I doomed to die anyway? I'm going to forget everything, aren't I? How are you sure I won't unlearn these lessons? Some things stick with you even beyond death. My lessons are one of those things. When all is said and done, you'll remember. And besides, you can still make a big difference even on your path to death. Even if you don't win, you can sway how things go. Save some, doom others, influence a wish. There are a lot of ways you can alter the future. I see. Guess I'll make a difference then. Of course you can. Now rest. It'll be time to begin again soon. I better at least not think I'm a failure anymore. I doubt it. A victory like this is something that sticks to your very soul. Now sleep. We'll see each other soon. My eyelids grew heavy as I felt my body float around in nothingness. We were going to start again, but something told me that at least some things would be okay. That I had overcome some obstacles in some sense. Maybe that's why I was able to find some semblance of peace in the oncoming slaughter of these future games. Yeah, we did it! Let's go! Clyde, we did it! You got your wish! Your mom's gonna live forever! Isn't that wild? Yeah! He found a spark of hope and joy in a dark and pointless life. Some purpose and direction cleared out so much pain and strife. He nurtured that spark until it became a burning flame. And thus, he found assured success in this cruel and painful game. Take heart, Clyde. You found your fortune and learned your lesson. And thus, we begin again. I don't know where this is going to begin me again. So I will go through it a little bit until we realize that something's weird. But in any case, I have another ad break starting in 2 minutes. I'll start it after I finish talking. So please take a moment to take a break, take a stretchy, get some water, go pee if you have to. Thank you so much for watching my ads as usual. I really appreciate it. It helps me gain ad revenue and it means you guys don't have to watch any pre-roll ads. If you don't want to watch any ads, please consider subscribing to me. You'll also get access to my subscriber emotes. Let's take a quick break, and I will see you in 3 minutes. Did I hit the add button? Did it work? Oh. Okay. Oh, that was me sitting down. I forgot I wasn't muted. But my ads are almost done. I also realized why my ad button wasn't working. Yesterday what did I do? I reset the cache on my computer, and I think it fucked up my link. But anyway, that's fine now. Alright, I don't know how much more there is of this until we get back into looping, but let's see. I feel my head ache for a moment as the flash leaves me disoriented. But when I readjust, the room is the same as it ever was before. The only difference now is that Belle is gone, and the first door is opened up. Oh, okay. Now that we've got things started, who's going where? Huh? What, were you not paying attention? We gotta split up into 4 groups of 4, you know. 4 people for each room. Right. I was asking where people wanted to go. Any room preference or thing like that. Okay, I think we've come back around to the start. I'm gonna see if there's a new option, but otherwise, I don't think there is, because I think it was demo only. I think we're good. I think we're done. I'm just double checking from the flowchart. Yeah, I think we're done, y'all. Actually, I don't know that. Because now that... Oh no, this is everyone's thing. I think the demo has 2 routes, but this might be updated. It's been a while. That's okay. I think showing 1 route was good enough for me. So let me switch to my just chatting screen. Please hang around if you can. We'll raid after. But yeah, thanks for hanging out with me and playing Game of Fortune. I'm trying to get to like trying to get out of the game so I can get to like the Steam information on it. I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was really fun. I love visual novels. I love horror visual novels. So this was all really good. This game comes out on April the 4th in about 11 days. So if you liked watching this over the time, please consider picking it up. I will most likely pick it up, but I will most likely not stream it because I gotta talk a lot, and I'd rather just play it on my own time. I want to enjoy it for me. So here's the Steam page. If you would like to check it out, wishlist it, do whatever you gotta do. Oh, thank you for the head pads. I appreciate it. Let's see. What else can I say? I'm thinking about... I've been doing a lot of short form TikTok content, so I'll probably make a short form TikTok, just a 1-minute thing about this game. I've been doing it for indie games that I've been playing demos of, and I like doing it because, I don't know, if you're like me, I'm not always down to sit down and watch a 5-hour review of a video game, unless it's the Y2K review, because that gave me life. That was great. You suck at TikTok. Listen, I am also not good at TikTok. I really suck at Instagram. I cannot figure out Instagram for the life of me. Like, every time I post something on Instagram, it's just like, nah, I don't know, buddy. I don't know about that one, buddy. TikTok, it seems to be, I don't know. I posted a video every day for 10 days. And it was like, yeah, sure, whatever. But then I posted like one after, and it was like, no, yeah, we'll put this out there. And I'm like, TikTok, I don't get you. It was like maybe a week after or something. I don't get it. Thank you. I am having quite a good day. I hope you are having a good day as well. We just finished our playthrough of the Game of Fortune. And I have that link up above in the chat if you are interested in picking it up when it drops on April the 4th. Let's see. Now that we've finished this demo, I think I'm gonna keep Thursdays for demos and short games, because I feel like if I pull like another Bug Fables in here, I'm going to perish. So I think the next demo that we're going to play, that I hope it's still available. I've been trying to play this demo for like months. Okay, yeah, it is. So we're gonna play the Maho Shenshi Cosplay Club demo. It's an RPG. You're a magical girl. You're doing cosplay. It's great. So please look forward to that next Thursday. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, it depends on my mood. We'll either do that, or we'll do Frog Detective. We'll either do that or Frog Detective 3. Because I feel like every time I thought I was almost done with this game, I was like, yes, we'll do it, and then we'll play Frog Detective. So now, like, my body just really wants to play Frog Detective, to be honest. Or if you wanted to be wild, you could play the Tax VN. You're so right. Oh, it's time to give an anime girl my social security number, my face, my driver's license. You know, she needs it all. She's gotta get around in the US too, so she needs it all. I'll give it to her. I won't. Please don't do that. There are other places for you to do taxes, y'all. Please do your taxes. Don't let the IRS win. But yeah, that's about how it's gonna go next week. Unless it depends on if we finish A Space for the Unbound tomorrow. Tomorrow, same time, 5 p.m., we'll be playing A Space for the Unbound. If we finish it, then we will play Frog Detective on Thursday next week. Because if we finish it, I'm pulling in a new game that just came out today on the Switch. Well, okay, the game's already out. It was re-released on the Switch with the new game. And it is Rakuen and Mr. Saito. If you were here for my Steam demos, you were here for Mr. Saito, maybe. If you've been watching my short form content, I think it was up there. It was in my top 10. I haven't played Rakuen, so I have to play through Rakuen before I play Mr. Saito. And I want to start that next week. So, if we finish A Space for the Unbound tomorrow, it'll be on Friday. If we don't, it'll be on Thursday. And of course, you can always follow me on my socials to find my my schedule, which usually goes up ideally on Sundays, the latest on Mondays. Except this week, I put it out on Tuesday. I don't recommend that. But here are my socials. You can follow me on Twitter if you don't mind getting not safe for work content every now and again, or you can follow me on YouTube. You'll see my VODs, or on TikTok, you'll see my short form content, or on Instagram, and you'll see like the 0. There's nothing. I don't get it. I don't get that algorithm. Oh man. Anyway, what else? What else is cool and cool for everyone to know? My mutual Beatrice Brumblebee. I've given you to her a few times. She is debuting her 3D model next month. I'm gonna scream about it a lot, so I hope you're ready. I'm really excited for it. And speaking of models, my modeling single parent, my stepdad that had to step up. They're actually almost done with my model. But I have a lot of commissions in flight that probably won't finish until the end of April. So we might do our model debut in early May. It depends. We'll figure it out. I also got some other stuff that might crop up that might prevent me from streaming as much next month. I'll give you more details when I have it. But just know that might happen. So what you're saying is May is the day. Exactly, probably. I can't see why else. I could put it off to my birthday, but I'm not gonna do that. Life's too short. And I don't have to do that. It might be May. It might be late April. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. Okay. Let's see who we're going to raid today. I think I know, but let me look at my whole list. We're probably gonna raid Fi, because I haven't raided Fi in a while. But let's see. Hoodie Inu is just chatting today. He just got over a cold. Poor guy. I just raided Tentacat yesterday. Oh, someone I follow is playing Mr. Saito, but I don't want to get spoiled, so I can't. Nico's probably almost done in his lessons. Hold on, let me see where Nico is in his lessons. Nico is playing a game. Okay. I sent people to Nico this week though. Okay, so I'll raid Fi. I try to keep my raids very equal. Unless, you know, I do favor people because I do have favorites, but I try to keep them somewhat equal. So we're gonna raid Fi. If you are a subscriber, thank you for subscribing. You get virtual snake kisses. Mwah, mwah, mwah. Here's your raid message. Sorry, I'm trying to like copy my own raid message. If you are not a subscriber, thank you for hanging out. You could be in any stream right now, but you're checking out my stream. I love that. Thank you. You get snake huggies. Here's your raid message. Let us raid my good Gorgon friend, bye Gorgo, who's playing Overwatch 2. Let's give him some cheer, and I'll see you guys later. Make sure to drink water, eat food, generally take care of yourself, and let's all get a good night's sleep tonight. I'm gonna manifest it for you, so maybe it'll manifest for me too. Alright, have a good night, y'all. Start to raid. Where's my scene switch? There we go.